In today's video, we will be talking about hate crime as a contemporary issue. But before we dive into that, let's first understand why it has become such a severe problem in our world today. Many people across the globe continue to suffer as victims of hate crimes, targeted simply because of their identity, gender, race, or even religion. These are not random acts of violence. Hate crimes are deliberate attacks meant to intimidate not just individuals but the entire communities. What makes hate crimes especially dangerous is that they go beyond the harm that is caused to one person. Unlike traditional crimes, hate crimes send a powerful and deeply troubling message to society that certain people are not welcomed, valued, or safe simply because of who they are. This spreads fear and division, poisoning the sense of security that every community needs to thrive.
Hate crimes can be developed from a young age. They can be influenced from their family members or the environment they grew up in. But as an adult, they can also be influenced from the political and environmental pressure. And these people will gather hatred and release it to certain group of people or individuals. So then, what are the consequences of these hate crimes then? Well, legally speaking, in Malaysia, there aren't any specific laws that can target specifically on hate crimes. However, there are laws like the CMA Section 211 and Section 233 that can use it against hate crimes. They can imprison people up to 1 year or fine them up to 50,000 ringgit or even both. But ethically speaking, hate crimes can cause individuals to develop mental issues, mental problems, and even worse, they can cause them to harm themselves or even the people around them.
Then how does media report on hate crime? Well, media can report on hate crime that results in two different endings. It might help decrease tension and it might help spread awareness, but it can also be used as a weapon that can further cause more issue. As media report the news about these hate crimes without proper care, they might report it biased and sensationalized, which can cause conflicts and problems down the line. Now let's talk about some real-world hate crime cases that had happened.
Firstly, let's talk about the case of the Rohingya refugees during the COVID-19 pandemic. During this challenging time, many Rohingya refugees sought refuge in Malaysia, hoping to escape the difficult conditions and persecution in their home country. However, their arrival raised a lot of concerns among the local population. People were already anxious about the spread of COVID-19, and the sudden presence of refugees led to fears about public health and safety. Many citizens worried that the situation could worsen the pandemic in Malaysia and place additional pressure on healthcare services. The issue became even more controversial when a Rohingya activist sent a letter requesting basic necessities and support for the community. Unfortunately, this letter was misunderstood by many. Instead of being seen as a desperate plea for survival, it was misreported and interpreted by some as a sign of ungratefulness. This misunderstanding triggered a wave of negativity from the public. Many citizens expressed frustration and anger, with some even resorting to harsh criticism and hateful remarks towards the Rohingya community. The situation, which should have been addressed with compassion and understanding, instead turned into a heated debate fueled by fear and misinformation.
Another case is about a 6-year-old Palestinian American who was killed by his landlord due to his religion. The landlord has gathered hatred towards the religion, and it spiked even worse after the Israeli and Hamas war broke out. And lastly, another case is about the families to the people who lost their lives in a war on drugs program by the former president of Philippines. These families were threatened and discriminated by the extreme supporters of the former president.
So what's the ethical concerns in media coverage? Ethical concerns in media coverage on hate crimes are crucial as it is to ensure responsible journalism and maintain public trust. Sensationalism is also a big issue as it can lead to misunderstanding from overemphasis and inaccurate reporting. So, In conclusion, hate crimes can develop from various factors and it can cause a serious issue as it can harm people not just mentally but also physically. It can cause disconnection of unity in a country and it can cause conflict against each community. So it's crucial for everyone, from government to media to each individual, to work together to stop hate crime.